Good afternoon. We're here today with Peter Cirolia and Ballet. And Peter, I just am dying to know how you got started in ballet. I want to introduce you to the world with your beautiful endeavor here in this beautiful ballet studio and fitness studio. You're welcome. Tell me a little bit about how you got started in ballet. How old were you? Tell us your story.
All right, so the deal is this. It's like out of a storybook. I tell so many people, and they just can't believe it. And they're all like, you should write a book. I was in school, in grammar school. I was 8 years old, and I was in gymnastics class, and a very famous choreographer named Elliot Feld got this government grant to come to particular schools throughout the boroughs of New York City and look for a certain look, a special look in a child when he was in gymnastics class.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was in gymnastics class. We were playing dodgeball, or I was at PS 71 in the Bronx, and I was with all my cool friends. And this we didn't expect this. We walked into the gym, and there was this choreographer with a couple of his staff, and he had handed me clothes and asked me to go into the bathroom and change into these clothes. And at first I was like, what the heck is this? And then so I went into the bathroom with a couple of my friends, and I was like, I came out and I was like, there's no way I'm doing this. Because they were like tights, they were spandex, they were tight.
Right.
And I was with the cool guys, I was very, we were cool in school, and so I said no. So, okay, fast forward, go home that day, my teacher and principal call my parents and say, we'd like to have a meeting with, you and Peter because this famous choreographer came to the school, a ballet choreographer, and wanted Peter to come down with them, wanted to give him the option to come down and take Peter under their wing and teach him ballet, but he wouldn't let them look at his body exactly in the exact uniform. Wow. So anyway, so the next day we had this meeting, and my parents and the principal of the school convinced me to go downtown and let the famous choreographer Elliot Feld have another look at my body, which we did, and after that, the rest is history. I was 8 years old, and they accepted me into the Elliot Feld School, New York.
Wow.
And which was a division of American Ballet Theater, and I got, my life took off. I was being transported downtown every day. I finished out, I guess it's 5th grade at my grammar school, and I was getting car service. I did half days, and I was being car serviced down to 890 Broadway, where American Ballet Theater is. And that's pretty much it. And then from there, it took off. I went from American Ballet Theater to School of American Ballet, and then to perform alongside New York City Ballet. So
that is incredible. What a story. I see a younger version of you behind your head.
That's a picture of me that was up at New York City Ballet.
Wow.
That's a picture of me when I was probably 17 in that picture, anywhere from 16, 17.
What a story.
That was at, School of American Ballet. So.
What a big life. So here you are today, sitting at Ballet Muscle. Tell me all about it. Tell us what you see it becoming, what it is today, what you see it becoming.
So Ballet Muscle, I started 6 years ago. And I started this company because I wanted to share the wealth of knowledge that was passed on to me. Throughout my entire career, I danced with the School of American Ballet and alongside New York City Ballet for about 15 years, and I still currently rehearse with them. I just don't perform anymore. But so I wanted to share this wealth of knowledge with the general public once I retired as a performer. Sure. And so I started Ballet Muscle because I wanted to integrate ballet and fitness.
Right.
So Ballet Muscle, basically, it's a company. What it is, my company is professional, ultra-professional ballet school, 2 tiers. So we have adults, general adults who danced in their life,
right?
But they want to come and take professional ballet lessons. But then we have an ultra-professional children's program where children are taught just as I was taught at New York City Ballet and the School of American Ballet. Grew up since I was 8 years old. We treat them just like that. You learn respect, obedience, and the special sacred ballet technique and form.
And I'm sure a lot of discipline that goes along with being...
discipline.
Yes,
that a lot of kids can use now.
Yes.
So,
yes.
because in this busy life. But this is wealth of knowledge, sacred ballet knowledge that was passed on to me from the grandest ballet dancers in the world, some including Elliott Feld, like I mentioned, Mikhail Baryshnikov, Peter Boll, Jacques Soto, Peter Martin. So anyway.
So you really had quite exposure.
Sarah, fabulous people. We're a small family, but I have this wonderful knowledge, and I thought, why keep it to myself when I could share it with others? And so if children want to come, you know, to the school and may want to audition for the School of American Ballet, they will have the exact foundation.
Wow.
I will start them out with the exact foundation, and then if I see potential or if they want to try out, they can go downtown and try to have a soloist career with one of the biggest ballet companies in the world.
So is there a place for, you said for children, is there a place for, say, a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 30-year-old?
So we start them out actually at 4 years old. We do like a parent and child class, or you know, a nanny and child, just someone to accompany the 4-year-olds in class, and then we go all the way up to you know, adults. But the children go from 4 to 18 years old.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And who teaches Peter? Just you, or?
So this is the deal with my company, Ballet Muscle, because this is a very important part. As of now, I do not hire anybody here, any of the teachers. We all were American Ballet dancers, professional. We were famous people. This is so at my company, I only hire people who performed, who mastered the art of movement, you know, dance on their own body. So everyone here was a professional, famous dancer. Nobody who just danced in college, nobody who just danced a little bit. You had to be, so these are people that I know who are also retired dancers, or, you know, my age group. And
so that's a requirement, to have been a professional.
You have to have been a professional dancer, and that doesn't mean dance with a professional college company. That means there's a handful of ultra-professional dance companies out there, professional dance companies. Obviously, American Ballet Theater, New York City Ballet, but you know, Boston Ballet, and Pacific Northwest Ballet, and a couple of others. So,
very impressive.
Yes.
Now, you did say two-tiered program. As one of your clients myself, you also have a very developed fitness arm to your business.
Correct. So
tell me a little about that.
The Ballet Muscle. So I mentioned the ballet, the adult, and then we have the children ultra-professional ballet program. Then I do fitness, which goes right in. So we have fitness classes here. We do undivided personal training. When I was at New York City Ballet, School of American Ballet, growing up, we had our own personal trainer, nutritionist, physical therapist, and so forth. And I was given, so from 8 years old, it was second nature to me to be given all the knowledge of how the muscles move, what muscles you're engaging, how you're using the muscles, all this knowledge. So when I went to get my kinesiology degree, which I also have, which is a muscle movement degree, physical training degree, it was just so simple, because from 8 years old, for 15 years, I've been studying this stuff.
Wow. Yes. So it's in your DNA, so to speak.
So it's in my body. So fitness. So I thought it went hand in hand with the. I mean, they absolutely go hand in hand. So I thought, let me also. No, I could look at someone's body and see if they're aligned. I mean, fitness is all about. It starts with alignment and balance. So I could see if someone's aligned. I mean, I could read your genetic code of alignment, balance, and how your body moves and your muscles move and work from miles away. So, and that's what I study. And you only have that if you've mastered the muscle movement on your own body.
Yes.
So that's what me and a couple of the instructors here have done. We have performed it. We've mastered muscle movement to perform at Lincoln Center and perform around the world. So
that's very impressive. We all benefit from your expertise in that area. But tell me, and tell the world who's listening, what makes Ballet Muscle different from other functional strength training and fitness studios? Like, you know, how does a person rationalize, do I go join a gym? Do I go to a Zumba class? What makes it so compelling?
Okay, so I'm going to give about two-tiered answers. So in terms of the ballet school, what sets us aside and makes us different than everyone else is I run this school just like the School of American Ballet and Elliott Feld School in New York. We are extremely professional here in Westchester. The only thing better is if you're going to the School of American Ballet in Manhattan.
So here we are in New Rochelle, New York, Southern Westchester, hotbed of talent and young people wanting to be the best.
Exactly.
So here it is, without having to go to the city,
so
right?
here it is. Here it is to get them started, or to stay here and get an extremely strong, undivided foundation before they go off into that big city, which I grew up in at 8 years old.
Yeah.
So here it is. So that's the ballet answer. In terms of the fitness answer, what sets us apart is if you want to be with the best. I mean, I had the best physical therapists, personal trainers, everybody in the world since I was 8 years old, so nobody has studied the body more than me. Not only did I study it from text, or me and the other dancers here studied from text, but like I mentioned, we also applied these studies to our own bodies and mastered the movement and the muscles on our own bodies to be the best in the world.
Yes.
One of the best in the world, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So what sets this studio apart is in terms of fitness, we understand, we didn't just study fitness, we don't just have personal training degrees, but we applied the studies to our own bodies. So that's something else. When I hire here or when I talk to people, they have to have been the best in the world in order to work here. So, I mean, it sounds, but we're just the best.
Absolutely,
so,
I
it's
can.
as simple as that. You want the best, you come to the best, you work with the best, and that's that.
So when someone wants to come here for fitness, what are their options besides personal training packages? You said you offered classes. Could you tell us a little bit about the classes?
So the classes are, we do an abdominal class, which is extremely important. We do an abdominal, I actually teach the abdominal class, and then I also teach a tone and burn class, which is, I integrate, which we'll get into, I integrate ballet into every session here. Personal training session, private sessions, besides the ballet, that's of course ballet, but into each physical training session, weight building session, when we're working with weights, personal training session, I always integrate some sort of ballet without the client may not even know. I have guys that I train all the time, chest pressing, benching, heavy weight, I'm teaching heavy weight, but they have no idea that I throw in also ballet exercises to help them build long, strong muscles.
Yes, yes.
So, that's... Yeah.
Tell me the difference between, I've heard you say integrated ballet and ballet. So could you tell me the difference?
Sure.
So that we understand?
Yeah. So, ballet is ballet. I mean, it's what we learned Russian and French from, which was passed to me from Balanchine and everything. It's ballet. Integrated ballet is me in a session. I've come up with techniques to throw in ballet in my classes. You'll see in video, so that people wouldn't know that it's professional ballet. It's just moves that align, balance, and work the deepest tissue muscle fibers of your body. By doing these exercises such as pointing your foot, raising your leg and turning in and out, and holding both sides of your body opposing, turned out. I explain it to people. I tell integrated ballet is I talk them through it very quickly so they'll understand it and just do it without even knowing what the base is, what the background is. Just do what I'm asking, and those are and you will not strengthen muscles unless you do these exercises. I've done all the fitness in the world, obviously ballet, but I've done lacrosse and football and equestrian, and I do it all. I love it, but ballet has allowed me to do it all. So I want to get everyone to align their body perfectly, strengthen their deepest tissue muscle fibers, which is what ballet will give you, long, strong muscles. And so along with the weights. So the weights are building a little bit shorter muscle fibers, but then I want you to lengthen those muscles by doing long, strong muscle exercises such as the integrated ballet stuff I will throw in there without you knowing again. So.
Yes, you are sneaky. I'm very good at that. Tell me, are there any professional athletes that you know? Because, sometimes a male will say, well, I'm not a ballerina. I don't want to put on, there's so many. Yes. So could you speak to that? Are there any professional athletes that you know that, because when I watch football and I see some of these guys, it almost looks like they're doing ballet on the football field just to get that ball to the other end of the field.
So let me bring up the latter, what you just mentioned, the football. So do I know any celebrities or stars star athletes who do ballet or about the whole ballet masculinity thing? I've dealt with that my entire life, especially because the world was a different place 15 years ago when I was at New York City Ballet, dancing and everything. So when I was at the School of American Ballet growing up, there were the New York Jets, the New York Giants, offensive linemen would come once a month out of every year and take our classes. And we would joke with each other, and they would joke and they'd laugh as they were coming in, and then 5-10 minutes into class, they'd look at us and go, oh, look at Peter's doing, they couldn't believe it, because until you try it, you don't realize how hard it is.
I can speak for personally how difficult.
Well, there you go.
And you're just starting me on beginner.
Right. But so athletes, football players have to do, the offensive linemen have to do, and they know. Because again, ballet is the only exercise that's going to strengthen your deepest tissue muscle fibers. I've done it all, not lunges, not bench pressing, not chest pressing, not agility stuff. Doing integrated ballet exercises or professional ballet will strengthen your deepest tissue muscle fibers. That's the only thing. I don't care what anyone says. Nobody knows better than I do.
And I'm learning as a woman in her mid-50s how important that is. Just the everyday walking and doing of life, the balance and the core stability that I've gained just in the short time, you know, since we've been integrating. And I believe that that is important whether you're 10, whether you're 50 or 80.
It's never too late to start. It's never too early.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Is it ever too late to start?
Never too late to start. I mean, I have clients who are 80, 85, 60. I have some of my strongest clients ever are 60, who I've been training for 10, 20 years. 10 years, and they're 60 years old, and they're the strongest they've been in their entire life because we've integrated ballet and fitness. They're taking my ballet classes, they're taking my fitness classes. I train them privately once or twice a week with weights. We do dumbbells, weights here, the chin-ups, handstand push-ups. You have no idea. Nobody knows better than I again, but they are the healthiest they've ever been. So we have children doing we have boys that do some ballet, but do also weights, that do weight training. The whole gamut, the whole spectrum is covered. I mean, there's nothing that, again, with the masculinity thing, there's nothing, because I guess I dealt with it my whole life, there's nothing I haven't accomplished or proven to the world that I can't do just because I've dealt with that.
Yes. So you have adult ballet classes here, you have children, teenager, young adult ballet classes here.
Correct.
You also have classes that you can come and take for toning and burning.
Correct.
Your abdominal classes, just regular fitness classes.
So always with a little bit, sorry to interrupt,
it's okay.
With a ballet background. That's it.
I see.
But you'd never know. You'd never know. But
so it would be ideal for someone to bring their child here for ballet and then realize this could be their fitness home as well.
Correct. So what I have a lot is while the children are in ballet, I have the parents who are working with me downstairs, a personal trainer, while my American Ballet teachers are teaching up here. Or I have parents who are doing classes while their children are in ballet classes. The parents are doing fitness classes, which is just weights with a little bit of integrated ballet in it, or just complete fitness or abdominal in it. So they go hand in hand. They work perfectly together. And this is the way of the world now.
Yes.
People are realizing.
That's
People
ideal.
are finally not putting stereotypes on ballet. Oh, I can't dance ballet. I'm an adult, or I'm a woman who's never done ballet, or a man who's... Men are coming to me, men who played football professionally in college, I train now, whatever, and I work it in, they realize the benefits now. They're open to the knowledge and understanding of it. They're not closed off and oh, ballet, I'm afraid of it. They're secure in their masculinity, and they want to embrace it now and realize that it can only bring them further to their athletic activities and abilities.
Yes, because tell us again what you're involved in.
I'm involved in, I snowboard. There's not a sport I don't do or haven't done. And what's allowed me to do everything is that I've not only the alignment and balance that I've perfected on my own body my whole life, but my deep tissue muscle fibers are extremely strong. And they're strong because I danced my entire life, and I've worked my entire life to strengthen these deep tissue muscle fibers. Those are the deepest. You have superficial muscle and deep muscle. My deepest tissue muscle fibers are extremely strong, and that's what allows me to be at the top of my game with every athletic sport, my alignment and my deep tissue muscle fiber strength. So
I'm sure everyone's wondering at this point, you know, how much does this cost? What could I expect to spend if I want to come to a class? Could I come to a class without being a fitness client, personal training client? If you could address that briefly, that would be fantastic.
Sure. So again, the two-tiered answer, the ballet, we have children's package. We usually do 3 months at a time for the children. So they'll do a semester, which is, say, the spring semester, which would be April, May, June. You know, before they go, some of them go away for a little while in the summer, a month or so in the summer, or, you know, so we do 3-month packages. Then we have the adults ballet classes, who, same thing, they do 3-month packages. Then we have the personal training for the adults and children, which is, you know, so that, the personal training is, for an hour, 60 minutes is $120 a session. You could buy a 10-pack, though, that comes to $110 a session, so you're saving $100. But here, when people come here, they realize it's not about, of course it's got to be in their price point, but it's not about the money. They want to be with the best.
Absolutely.
The best intelligence, the best knowledge, the sacred knowledge that we have. They know we're going to pass it on to them. So that's what sets us apart from anybody out there. If you want to join a big gym, go right ahead, but you're not going to get this sacred knowledge, the undivided attention. We're also choosy when people are coming here. You know, they have to, it's got to be, it goes two ways.
fantastic.
So-
Peter, this has been fantastic. Great, great interview. I want everyone to know that this is a really wonderful, warm place to come to.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time
Thank you.
today.
I hope to see everyone here soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
Bye-bye.